Hello, guys. Welcome to Jimmy Makes Money. Today it's the 6th of February. Welcome from your Dave Cristiano here in the channel that makes you make more money, guys. So today we're just gonna talk about one topic that is important to all of us. So just let me make my ugly picture the smaller possible and let's move on directly into the topic. So the topic of today is sell 3 times more thanks to highly persuasive messages. Actually, the scope and the aim of the meeting today is really get into this topic because what I see within our students and our community is that most of us, we make messaging very wrong. So we are not having our footprint right, meaning that actually all our customers, potential customers, simply run away or they do not get hooked enough to stay with us, to learn about our history, to get, educated enough to trust us and eventually to come and become our customers, partner, ambassadors, right? To how many of us it happened that we posted a message or even a video without having no feedback from the market, which means, well, maybe sometimes somebody is just putting a like if we are lucky, or they even put a dislike, or sometimes they even comment negatively, but nothing at the level that we would like. And anyway, even the negative feedbacks are so low that are even depressing, right? So we're not cracking the story as we would like to. So today we're gonna go through some unfair advantages that I want all of us to have and get so that we are really sure that really we stay ahead of competition. Also because in this meeting, we will understand what really competition is, because most of us even don't really understand the market we are in. So guys, listen, follow me, because I will bring you to this level, not just because I'm a genius, not at all, the other way around, but it's Jimmy that makes the money and we follow Jimmy. The point is that I had my own mistakes so many times and I'm still making mistakes, but we are all here to learn, and thanks to this community, we're just learning from each other. Now, the first unfair advantage is to tell each other the great lie. And what is it? Well, think of yourself being in the crypto niche, for example. Well, you might think that you are in the crypto market, or maybe you're just sharing trainings, and then you think that you are in the educational market, or maybe you're just even posting some referral links to get some marketing, some referral marketing, and making some money out of the fees. Well, you are not in that freaking business. But let's think of the actual business offline. You just have a garage and you're fixing cars. Do you really think that that's your business? Not at all. Not at all. Whatever we do, well, we are in a completely different business. So question is, which is the business that we all are in? Well, maybe a few exceptions. Maybe you are a doctor. Maybe you are, I don't know, a lawyer. But even in that case, I wouldn't be so sure that you are in a completely different business. And this is it. Sorry, all this white on a black background. Maybe this is killing your eyes, but the idea here is very serious. So at the center of everything, there is our brain, and all the people outside, all the people that are having a footprint in the online space and environment, and even in the metaverse, they are all trying to grab a space from the attention, from the brain of potential customers. Why? Because you don't get the money of a person unless you first hook his or her attention. That's the point. Well, maybe, yeah, you're a thief, then it's a completely different story. And maybe it's better that you don't even get the attention. But if you're not a thief and you're here in a legit business, then of course you first have to get the attention of your customers. And then from them you get the legitimate way of getting money from them, because they're giving money to you because they want to purchase your service, your product, your advice, your idea of them getting a better future because of you. Look at that, you know, today. And think of that brain as your brain, as my brain. You know, we are all in this business, and you all jump into, well, maybe you walk in a street, or you just open a magazine, or we just get online on any of the social networks or channels or videos, or sites, and then everybody is trying to grasp our attention. So breaking news, now there is the story of, which is a serious one, of course, of Ukraine and Russia, which is bringing all the attention of all the world, because here potentially, the outcome could be really, really crazy. But yeah, it's everywhere on every news. And of course, there is the COVID-19 thing that is going on, and then Bojo in UK, which is creating a lot of buzz around him, and of course Joe Biden and everybody else. And here I'm talking of the most trending topics, and then the sports, Super Bowl and football and basketball and NFL and whatever. Every now and then there are some news that are grasping the attention of people, and that kind of attention, of course, is the one that people are willing to give, because it's touching either their fears or their idea of having peace of mind, or even it's hitting their hearts, their passions, right? So that it's giving them pleasure. And then there is all of the rest, like friends that are messaging on WhatsApp, on Messenger, on Viber, on Telegram, and then also there are the emails like Gmail, YouTube, Yahoo Mail, or whatever, Outlook. Emails are still a big chunk, specifically for who is working in a company. There are a lot of emails that are jumping and flowing into the laptops of people or in the cell phones. What about Twitter, Instagram, all the social platforms? And sometimes we get, well, not sometimes, probably too many times, we also get a lot of spam that is hitting our inboxes. That's a killing, right? And then, of course, there is a kind of protection that people try to put on themselves. They call it willpower. Let's call it like that, which is a kind of defense, a wall around the attention of people, on which they think that with the help of the mind, of the conscious mind, they are trying to say no to what they don't think relevant, and they say yes to what they think relevant. The point is that all of us, we use a lot of excuses, so we tell ourselves stories. And to be very convincing towards ourselves, first, we need to have somebody else that is telling us a story that is credible and trustworthy enough, so that we can make that storytelling into our internal storytelling to be, legitimate to grasp that attention. So, guys, what I want to have with you today is really the clear idea that, well, the attention business is the real business we are in. And then, of course, some of us could argue saying, no, David, it's not really true, because what happens is that, I'm fixing cars, for example, right? I'm in a garage, which means that, I'm solving a real issue to people. They need me, right? So they have to bump into my garage to make some fixings to the cars. Actually, yes. But in that case, still, unless their car is really broken, and then in their attention there will be, I need to find the garage, then your competition just narrows down to all the other garage that are placed high in the mindset of the person. But sometimes there are a lot of people that have the cars that are not really working, and they prefer to spend money to something else, even to, I don't know, to a PlayStation, rather than go, to a football match or to a basketball match, or they prefer I don't know, to spend some money to go somewhere for a weekend, right? And maybe they're okay with having the car that is not really working perfectly with that, yellow lamp that is popping up on their dashboard, but they don't care because they give more attention to something else. Again, when it comes to doctor, yeah, of course, if I'm risking my life and if I'm on the edge and I really need to get my heart get fixed, getting back to the fixed wording, but I need to have something, structured because my life is at risk, then of course, I would just go to the hospital, but then it's another story. But there are a lot of cases where there are a lot of people that have, something that is not going well. And for example, just a simple, pain in the backbones, or I don't know, and arthrosis or whatever. They're not going to a proper doctor, to a proper expert to get fixed just because they think that it's too much money. But then they spend a lot of money, in the cable TV or rather than in Netflix subscriptions or whatever, which means that something else grabbed their attention and subsequently grabbed their money. That's the story. So, of course, this is a little bit provoking, but I wanted you to understand exactly what's going on. The business we are in is the business of attention, not at all the real business that we're doing things. And there is another thing another lie. We think that we are relevant to our customers. We are not. Our customer doesn't or they don't give a rip to whatever we do, whatever we are. Yeah, maybe they get in touch with us and then maybe we become relevant to them. But before that, the fact that we are good, the fact that, we have a long history, the fact that we have thousands and zillions of customers or whatever, they simply don't care. It's not their business at all. Why? Because we are not relevant to them, to the very into the very inside of their hearts. That's the point. They just prefer to look after their own business, right? We become relevant only after a lot of steps in between ourselves and themselves. And indeed, our customer, they are just interested to themselves. And of course, I'm not talking about being too much selfish. That's not really the case, but it's more about themselves, which could be maybe taking care of the people they love, which could be friends, their community, or whatever. But for sure, not us, because we are the ones that to have to do with. They have to spend money. They have to open the wallet and pick up their credit cards, or I don't know, pick up the cash to pay, transact with us, and then they get something in return. Or actually, it should be the other way around. So we do something for them and then we get something in return. That could be. But I think that you're getting me, guys. Our customer is really interested in their own world, not in our world. That's why we are here, to make them understand that thanks to us, their world, their community, the people they care, the things that they care, they will just have a better future thanks to us. And let's go into the mistakes. So the first mistake, and I know that you've heard this zillions of times, so I'm not really the first one telling you, and I tell you, Jimmy is, but I am not a guru. So what I'm telling you is just something that I see in the community. And sometimes I make the mistake as well. But think of it, you started this wee video and you haven't heard me talking about myself, talking about Jimmy, what Jimmy does for us, how that Jimmy makes money for us, and we learn from Jimmy. Well, it's not about me. It's not about us. We don't care. We're just a community and we care about each other because we know that together, thanks to our legacy and our alliance, then we can really bring our stuff to another level, to level of a life that we enjoy living a lot. That's the point. The first mistake is really talking about our products and our services. It shouldn't be the case. Or at least, yeah, we have to do it, right? So otherwise, why should a person come to us and be interested to us? But the way we talk is completely different. We shouldn't talk about ourselves. We must talk about the results that other people, like our potential customer, our potential client, well, they got results thanks to us. That's so important, so freaking important. To give you some examples, let's suppose that we are servicing, we're teaching people how to trade, right, in the stock exchange. So what we could do is that, well, we're good. We've been here, since 3 years, and what we do is really bringing our customers to another level. Blah 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 blah. All this story. Unfortunately, copy paste, if you go to any trading service, or is it a trading room, is it a signals room, is it just a training course, whatever, even the bots, you will find copy paste exactly the same wording to everybody, nothing completely different. So what is really making the difference between ourselves and themselves? It's just that we bring case studies. Case studies are so strong, telling other people, interviewing people that got results thanks to us. Then it's so strong, so powerful. And then, well, the objection could be, yeah, but you still don't have, a track records. I still don't have customers that they want to talk about. Well, of course, then if you're selling something, it's because you tried something. Because if you are learning from scratch and you're selling services, without yourself really mastering the situation, just being an informer, then probably just move yourself, and instead of being positioning yourself as somebody that can really change and transform the life of somebody, maybe just transform yourself in somebody that will awaken their spirit, that will awaken their knowledge, that will do something for them, right, to bring them of having the right intention to the right things. That could be one option. So you move from transformational business into the information business, but then you're more transparent to your customers. Don't mess with them. And then when you start to get the first results, then you move into the transformation, and then your tickets can become even higher in that case, of course, because you will attract people that are wealthier, and they really want to bring themselves to the next level. But again, don't talk about yourself, talk about themselves, or people like them that got results thanks to you. I'm not a big fan of faking. The story, fake it till you make it. I'm not a big fan, because today there are so many people that never brought any kind of result in any of the things that they are talking about, and they push themselves as the new gurus that would make you drive a Lamborghini in Dubai somewhere. Oh gosh, the market is so full of these kind of people. Enough. So I prefer that we positions ourselves, at least the people in this community, they think it's like myself. Let's position ourselves in the most honest and transparent way as possible, because this comes across, and there are people that are willing to pay even big ticket items for people that are okay saying, well, I was not the coach of Tim Robbins, right? I have not brought Tim Robbins to become rich, for example, or I don't have many customers, as a chiropractic, but I had probably, I don't know, dozens, 50s, 100, 200, which is already enough. You don't have to talk about thousands, right? Or dozens of thousands. Just tell the truth and bring the examples. And the more examples you bring, the better it is. Look at that, you can get 79% of discount to the heater with an analysis or whatever. Oh, well, you get 3 or 6, how do you say, losing weight kind of meetings, or you get 70% discount, 3 to 5 massage that you can choose. This is so boring. Here we're talking about the product and the service. We're not talking about the better future that these people could have. So here what you're doing is simply selling commodities, which is okay because there are a lot of people that are making a lot of money in the stock exchange, in the commodity markets, right? So it's okay. They're selling, energy. They're selling wheat. They're selling copper. They're selling, metals. They're selling whatever they want. But that's a completely different market. Here we're talking about the market of value, where you're self-positioning yourself. You can really make something different. And even if you want to sell commodities like these ones, so services at a cheap price or at a good price with a good deal, anyway, the right messaging can make a big of a difference. Now let's go to another mistake, which is talking about quality. And this one, sorry, but I really want to after a huge chapter, simply because there are a lot of people that are talking about quality. Whatever I do, well, my product has a high quality. And well, I come from Italy, and a lot of the people have in their mind that a Lamborghini or a Ferrari is top of quality in terms of positioning and value and quality. So there is always this parallel of saying, but we are the Ferrari of our sector. We are the Ferrari of our products. Come on, you cannot buy cheap a Ferrari. If you don't want a Ferrari, then you go for a Fiat. Oh gosh, really? Are you serious? No way. So that is so freaking important that we positioned ourselves not about quality. Again, quality is just a matter of perception. Quality is just something that is not intangible. It's not tangible, sorry. You cannot touch quality. You cannot put it into a box, right? So when you say quality in the mind of your customer, you don't know what this customer is perceiving as quality. Meaning, when you say quality in their mind, it sounds like blah, 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 nothing like that. It's not countable, right? And if they haven't bought your trust, if you haven't gained their trust yet, it means that no, quality is not there for them in their mind. They're not simply making the equation yourself, your product, your service equal quality. That is not the case really in their mind. So talking quality is still something that refers to you. You are still talking about yourself. I am still talking about myself. If I say that my channel has a quality channel, doesn't mean anything. And of course, if you talk about channels in YouTube, well, that's even more clear. This is so fun. This is an advertising. Well, not even. This is a payoff out of this is terrible, out of a website. So these guys, they are creating small pieces of precision general manufacturing. And it's all about machineries and equipments. And they say, quality is our job. You are not James Bond, for which danger is your job. And you are not whoever to say that quality is your job. Quality means nothing. Quality doing what? Everything that you do? Do you have quality when you go to the toilet? If you say so, it's nice because we're talking about something that is funny. We can talk about that, right? And it's a kind of icebreaker. Maybe weird style, but still an icebreaker. But come on, quality, what does it mean? So what your quality can really change my life. What happens? If I have your quality or if I don't have your quality, how my life changes really. Oh, this is something that I love as well. Bottom right, Men's Club has always was always close to their clients, to customers, and is waiting for you to make you touch with your hand the quality of its products and services at incredible prices. Are we in a time machine? Do we go back to the 80s, to the 70s? Come on, this was okay for the 70s, for the 80s. But even if you go to Mad Men, the TV series, even at their time, they were much better than doing this. No way. Touching with quality? Come on. Third mistake, talking how much about how good and good looking we are. Like, if you come to our showroom, that's the wonderful showroom in town. You gonna see the best things ever. Look at our products, they are much better than competition. Again, talking not about quality, but even talking about how good we are. So we are the best since 1875. That doesn't work, and this is a clear mistake. Let's go to mistake number 4. Mistake number 4 is how long, well, I already anticipated that, how long we've been in the market since. And this is terrible, equally terrible, saying how long we've been on this market, that's a killing. That's take it out for your mind from your mind that having been around for a long time makes any kind of difference from not being around from a long time. Our customers nowadays, they're more and more used to companies that are just the newcos, that are just the unicorns, that are just the new IPOs, rather than whatever. Let me think. Um, yeah, that was the word I was checking in. Startups. And also the new projects, that the NFTs, rather than I cannot call it new economy, but even all the cryptocurrencies, they're all startups, right? They're just startups linked to the blockchain. So somehow they're riding the fashion wave of the NFTs, the crypto, the blockchain and the crypto world. That's okay, but people get used to that. And even some of them, they really think that the new things are even better than the old things. So saying that you've been around for a long time, if you don't link it to a storyline that shows your customer, potential one, how you will change their life, if it doesn't happen, if you're just stating it, and it's again telling something about yourself only, then you're losing. Look at this, this is a butchery shore. This is just for horse meat. This is great. Oh, no, this is not even horse meat. This is just general meat. And they say, quality is our quality is our job. That's okay. And we've been around since 1948, which, well, by the way, it's a lot of time, right? So it's close to a century. And these guys, they started just after the Second World War. So in their mind, that's huge. That's huge. But you need to show this 1948 in a different way. So if you just say that you've been around for a long time, people nowadays, I'm just generalizing, right? So it could not be the case for everybody. But a lot of people might think that, well, this is too late. These guys are going to go bankrupt eventually, or to close their business because it's too old. So you have to tell people that we've been feeding with grass food and high quality meat, athletes and workers and students and the lawyers and whatever that brought this nation to become a great nation. So that could be one story. So since 48, we've been making young kids become uh, lawyers or healthy I don't know, healthy sports guys, athletes, and healthy professionals and magicians. So that could be a storyline. Of course, probably can make it better, but still it's a kind of idea. Saying that you've been around from 1948 means nothing in the mind of people. You have always to link whatever you say to their life. How are you going to make their life better? Thanks to your high quality meat, grass fed, then probably they will become better athletes, more concentrated, more focused people. They will be more they will have more energy, so they will be really able to attack life and to enjoy life and to create the best life that they could have. That's a story. Let's go now from the unfair advantage number one to the unfair advantage number two, which is the better future. And I was already anticipating it just minutes ago, right? So if I cannot, Dave, tell me, if I cannot talk about my product, I cannot talk about my service, I cannot talk about quality or how long I've been in the market, then what the hell should I talk about, right? Well, this is just number one thing you have to create your communication around: the idea that the future of our client, our customer, thanks to us, will be better. And then this is something that we tell to ourselves. So thanks to us, that's what we say because we are part of the equation and we know it. But they don't even have to learn anything about you or about me. They just need to think that their life, thanks to what we do, will be better. But then it's always about their life, right? So the idea is, hey, dear customer, dear prospect, hey, dear person that you're just bumping in my ads on Instagram or on TikTok. Well, actually, think of your future. Your future can be much better. You want to be an athlete? You want to be, I don't know, a sportsman? You want to be a great lawyer? You want to be, I don't know, just a father or a grandfather or grandmother? Of course, your energy has to be strong. This is why if you get into our shop, you will just get the food that will make you become a better person. And by the way, this is how we do it. And then show people that are trustful customers and they're healthy and they're full of energy. That's what you do in your business. It's not just having quality meat. And sorry guys, I'm talking about meat, and I've been thinking of becoming a vegetarian. I have not yet. I know that I can just put my finger in an open wound for a lot of us. So let's move away from meat. Um, but that's a story. So I just wanted to bring some examples, and of course you can bring it in every single moment, in every single business you're working in, just because we are just in the same business, which is the one of our attention. So how do you hook the attention of the people that are bumping into your communication? Well, there are just these two keys. The first one is value, and the other one is entertainment. Give you some more examples. When I talk about value, is, well, are you educating them? Are you telling them things that they were not thinking of? Are you, shedding some light on elements that, are kind of foggy around because you're not getting the right information? Are you kind of giving for free some trainings? Are you telling them, for example, which are the gears that you're using to shoot your YouTube videos? Are you giving away some parts of the trainings that you're just giving for a huge amount of money to your high-paid customers? Are you somehow transforming them when they interact with you instead of just telling them who you are and how beautiful you are and how handsome you are and how good you are in doing what you do? And the second key is entertainment. Are they enjoying? You know, think of it. Instagram, very simply, just put within their stories and, well, within their stories, the quizzes, and you can answer, or you can, scroll the bar or the cursor, move it, and, giving your answer some quizzes, or even, you know, make a question to the page. And it is so great. Why? Because that's entertainment. When you get a question and answer, the first thing is, of course, it has to be a kind of answer that is not feeling me too stupid, right? Because otherwise, that's not entertaining. That's that entertaining. That's frustrating. But what if I can answer something, or even if I don't know the answer, but I can give it a try because I feel that even if I don't know, I won't be feeling like a stupid. It's not bad. So this is value and entertainment. Uh, just so many things that you can use to entertain people. One of them, for example, is the usual "Did you know?" So all the fun facts are part of this company, this mix, which is value and entertainment. Let me see if I can get something here. No, it's not here. So just what I just wanted to share with you is that value and entertainment is something that you've seen for sure in somewhere in the web. They call it valuetainment, which is a kind of neologism, but it's nice because it's really telling the truth, right? So we're talking about value and entertainment here. Valuetainment, so easy. I don't know how many of you know the Little Prince. Um, the story of the Little Prince is quite nice. It was written by a French aviator. This gentleman was very strong in bringing ourselves into a completely different imaginary. And this is just a short novel that is talking about the adventure of a little prince that was living. So he's a young guy, of course, and a prince that is living on a very small planet with a rose. And all of a sudden, he just moves around and he starts to visit other places. And eventually, he pops up on Earth and he meets a fox. Now, if you haven't, I will really wish you could read that book. It's a very small one. Probably you can even find, well, for sure, on Audible or any kind of audiobooks service, you can find it. You go and listen to it. It's better if it's acted, so you can hear the different voices of the fox and the prince himself. But that's nice, give it a try. It's real nice reading. The funny thing is, sorry, the fun thing is, for everybody, this is just a book of awakening, and there are so many messages, across all the surfaces, and you can just go down to different levels of reading. Um, I tended always to teach it to my students as a true marketing book. And here is the story. At a certain point, the little prince has to go on Earth and he finds a fox. And of course, on his planet, foxes were not living, so he doesn't know what a fox is. No idea. Uh, and then he says, well, you, whatever you are, just I want to get to know you. And he tries to approach the fox. And of course, the fox runs away. Why? Well, simply because the fox was not, in in good relationship with the prince. So he thought that the fox thought that the prince was just going to attack or to eat or to hunt the fox, and the fox was running away. Then the little prince just gets closer, and then they start to talk, and then the little prince says, well, why are you running away? And the fox says, well, look, I don't trust you. I don't know who you are. Before you and I we can just sit down and talk together, I need to trust you. So you know what you have to do? You come the first day and you stay quite far from me. You don't even pay attention to me. You just look around without even looking at me, just at the safe distance. And then you come the second day and the third day, and eventually, probably, I will just feel more comfortable you having around, and maybe I will get closer to you. But yeah, still, don't get too close. And then there will be a moment when if you pop up at the same time, somehow I subconsciously expect you. I wait for you. And if you don't pop up at that moment, I will just feel like something is missing to me until when you pop up again and you come closer, and then I see you, and then my heart will just calm down. And then every day I will just look forward, and I will get more, moved to emotions when the time comes that I know that you will pop up and visit me. Because then something magic will have happened. I will be your fox, and you will be my prince. We will be belonging to each other. Now, of course, I just slaughtered this magical narrative, this magical story. It's a paragraph or a couple of paragraphs of the book itself. Go and read it right now. Click on Amazon, purchase it, or click on Audible and put it on your wish list. It's amazing. But this paragraph about the fox and the little prince is so nice for this reason, because this is exactly the perfect way how marketing happens, how communication happens, specifically on the social media, but not only. You pop up somewhere, even if you're a salesperson, you're knocking at the doors of people, right? So you're pushing, you're going to cold emails, you're going to cold calls. When you go to a cold call, you're just getting closer to a fox that does not recognize you. That's why the fox runs away. So unless you are getting the fox in the moment when the fox needs food, for example, or needs water, and then you get there, to feed the fox, and again, still probably the fox won't really trust you, but maybe you have more chances. But if not, then the fox doesn't recognize you. The customer is not giving you trust. It's not your customer yet, not at all. So what does it mean as a metaphor, as a parallel? Well, it's very simple. You need to do exactly the same thing. You just pop up regularly on your communications, on your emails, on Instagram, on TikTok, on the channels, on LinkedIn, even make phone calls. If you do the first phone call to a customer, first of all, come with the present. Do not come with questions first. So of course you come and probably just can profile a customer and then say, we are just uh, we have a bunch of great customers, and now we want to bring the same benefits to more customers. To do that, what we're doing is just to let people know about us. So I don't want to bother you, but I would like to send you a couple of videos that will really change your life for free, of course. And then if you don't like them, you just cancel the email, you put us on the spam, and that's it. But to do so, can you please give me your email address? I will drop you just an email. You will accept it, and then you will receive probably a couple of videos for free from my side. If you are, for example, a salesperson in the B2B, this is the perfect way of approaching it. But just telling, hey, can I send you a brochure of what we do, or a PDF of what we do? Can I send you a presentation of my company? No, not a presentation of your company. Just give away for free something like a blueprint, like I don't know, what white paper, like a video on which you have a case study of a customer, something like that, or an educational, whatever. Consider always this story of the little prince and the fox. If you keep in mind the fact that everybody that you're getting is more or less a fox, and you're just a little prince they don't know and that scare them, then you will be winning. Keep that in mind. Again, the customer is the fox and we are just the little prince. If you are selling to people, you are just a hunter. And you know what? We tend to run away from hunters because they're going to kill us. If you give value, it's more what the little princess does. Little prince, sorry, does. And that's exactly what happens. Finally, the two of them, they become best friends. Now let's move to another unfair advantage, which is the third. Let's talk about the tactics. Number one, you need to give 80% of value and entertainment, and only 20% of what you do should be selling. Again, just think of these ratios. 80% is value and entertainment, 20% is selling. 20% is selling. Do not sell before having given 80% of value. For example, you're creating some stories on Instagram, that's okay, do it because they work big time. Even when you do some stories or reels, that's working. TikTok, that's okay. Only at the end of something of valuable that you're giving to people, then you just say, hey, check out my profile, the link on my profile, the link in bio, go click it and get more free resources. And then, thanks to the free resources, you can hook the people and then bring them to your page or to your mailing list or whatever. That's so easy, right? It's just a matter of tweaking, of the initial tweaks of how to make the machine automatically working, but then it's all about creating the contents. Tactics number 2, tests, polls, and questions. They are so effective. All the Q&A sections, they are so important. When you ask people for some feedback, or when you ask them to make you questions, that's lovely because you present things to people, you talk about things, you talk about how the business works and how they could gather better results doing A, B, C, or whatever. And of course, with a clear promise that is an understatement that if they do that with you, they will get even faster and better results. But then they will come with questions that you do not expect. And that's so great because when you create engagement and entertainment in that case, then you will also get fed back with questions that you were not thinking of. And answering those questions in advance with videos, with tutorials, with blueprints or whatever will just help people not to have the objections. And when you answer people in advance objections, so you anticipate them, then the great thing is that they will trust you because they will say, hey, the guy knows exactly what he's talking about, simply because something popped up in their mind, and before the full question was made in their mind, you already answered them. That's so great, right? Also, when I have some questions before trying and click and buy, and then I get all the answers, then I feel like, hey, I have no resistance any longer. I have no traction. So I just go straight on to the checkout and they pay the bill and they get the service. That's it. Some examples. Hey, by the way, you guys, where are you going on holiday? Just comment down below and let me envy you. Or another thing, let's say that you are making massage to people, right? You are chiropractic or whatever. uh, hey dude, can you just tell me which is the massage that you were not even thinking of and made you feel the most fit or whatever? Well, please, nothing spicy. We would just all shy people here. Or for example, you're selling fashion topics, right? So ask your pub, and your target audience is women, for example. Then of course the question could be, hey, yourself, what kind of woman are you? Are you the woman like the Devil Wears Prada, or are you more the Carrie from Sex and the City, or are you more like from the magic world of Amelie, or you're out of Matrix, the Matrix? Kind of things like that, right? And you can, in Instagram, you can just put the poll out of it, or you can, in a YouTube video, or just in a post, in an email, or whatever. You can just ask people to reply to you. Just comment down below, or just drop me an email and tell me, or reach out, DM privately, whatever. Then, if you had the magic wand, what would be the pain that you would like to get completely out of your life? Uh, that's another one. And this one, for example, is working for so many businesses. Or what makes you, what annoys you? That's another question. Or which is the brand that makes you go bananas? Questions like this. These are just stupid questions, but if you reiterate them, and of course you change them and you mix them up, then of course you start to create engagement with your audience. And even if you're a brand, if you don't want to show up with your face, it's more than okay. But the good thing is that they feel that behind the brand there is humanity. There are human beings that just want you to learn more, and that's it. Tactics number 3 is curiosity. Curiosity. I'm slaughtering English here. Sorry, guys. It's not my native language. I'm doing my best. And by the way, comment down below if you want me to stop, using strange accent, and if you want to correct me. So next video, I will try to be better in pronouncing English words. Tactics number 3, curiosity. For example, Italians do it better. Well, the shoe, come on. 1 shoe out of 3 lasts more than 1 year and is Italian, for example. Oh, another thing could be, water retention can be cured forever. Or 7 Americans out of 10 suffer out of bad digestions for pizza. Things like that, some fun facts, or even some trivial information that anyway people can really think, oh, I was not thinking of it. Why not? It's a good hook. If you go on some of those gossip magazines online, they're just full of advertorials. It's not really advertorials, it's really advertisement, and the hooks is really about curiosity. So look at how Johnny Depp now, well, think of how much money Johnny Depp has now in their bank, and then you get hooked, you click on it, and then you get into a page that is telling something else completely. But of course, maybe it's telling something about skincare rather than money, how to make money things or whatever. Of course, we're not into that business. That's okay, because that's grabbing attention, but it's to me not in a sustainable way. Still, there are a lot of companies that are making a lot of money out of it, but those ads are working just because they are hooking you so much. Tactics number 4. Try to be always direct and not talk about generic stuff. Talk to the person that is on the other side of the screen. Like, talk about yourself. You are the person. You are the one. not talk about in general things like, hey, people around there, they're thinking that, well, people like you out there or somebody like you out there could think that. And of course, the risk is always that when you use the you and you just point the finger, you need to be very cautious. So put negative feelings on people generically, but then put on better feelings on the person that is in front of the screen. So I want you to feel better thanks to this screen, to this video. And I want you to have a competitive advantage, an unfair advantage compared to the people outside that are making mistakes, right? Because I want you to feel better. And it's for sure, because I want people that get in touch with me to become better. I don't want the others to get worse, but I want the people that get in touch with me to become better, right? So let me know what you think. Tell me your opinion. Tell me what you think. Tell me where you go on holiday. You cannot miss this opportunity. Tactics number 5. Think of yourself as the BBC, Stars, Netflix. I don't know which is the one that you're looking at. I'm a big fan of Netflix. I hope I'm not kidding you. Also, Amazon Prime is not that bad. They're just popping out with some very great TV series, also in original language. That to me, they make me go crazy. In my country, they tend to dub and to not even put subtitles, but they just react with the local language and voice. So until I was 20, I had no idea which was the real voice of Al Pacino. No way. I learned it when I was 20 plus, right? So now with Netflix, a full world for me just opened up. But again, I'm talking about yourself. I don't give a pip. But jokes apart, what I would like is that you think of yourself like you're BBC. So you have just, scheduling of things that you should broadcast. So you need to acquire your audience. You have to make more audience possible, of course, in target, but you need to get the most people in target as possible, right? And to do that, you have to give them more and more reasons to stay close to you, to learn from you, to buy from you in the end. But first of all, to learn from you, you need to entertain them enough. So when you put out topics, don't place something once a week, unless it's a really huge topic. Like for example, you are a YouTuber, then it's okay to have one single episode per week, just in case you have already a good audience built up. And then also people are just craving to have you telling them something new, because you're just an episode of a great TV series on Amazon Prime, on Stars, on Netflix, or Disney Channel, Disney Plus, whatever you want, right? And then it's so great. But in general, in other social media, people expect to hear from you much, much more frequently and regularly. That's so important. Number 6, one image is worth 600 more than a test. And of course, no brainer, because most of our social medias, they just have images, apart from some of them that just now on vocals only, but most of them, they just have images, right? So that's okay. Now carousel, they're quite strong, of course, because it's a narration through different images. And of course, a video is worth 6,000 times more than just a text, which is 10 times more effective than an image itself. But to make a video great and valuable, has to have the subtitles. Why? Because most of the people, they cannot listen to what you're saying, either because maybe they're just working, or just because they're just maybe the underground, on the tube, or on a taxi, or in a situation where they cannot, maybe they're at school or whatever, but they cannot listen, but they can watch. So it's important that you put subtitles on your video. On the other side, having a good audio, if the video has an audio, has to be strong. Why? Because if they are listening to you, for example, I don't know, they are in the car, they're just commuting, and they need to have only the audio. They cannot watch the video, right? So your audio has to have a perfect quality or good quality enough. Put some music on it, but music has to be low, just as a background, because your voice has to be on the foreground and has to be strong. When you put and post images, try to put images that are real. Apart from, and this is always a point. So whatever you do, unless you are just one of those theme pages in Instagram, or those non-face channels in YouTube, but real images are much better than stock images. And even if you are, I don't know, a motivator rather than somebody that is educating people or whatever, if you just put something, like I don't know, a quote or whatever, but in front of a picture of your real life, that's so much more effective, because people get to trust more real people. That's it. You trust more real people. So put yourself in front of a camera, doing whatever. Maybe it doesn't have to be a super smiley, 36 white teeth in front of the camera. Just put a picture of yourself doing something. Maybe not too close. If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay. But still show it. Or even, show a video of yourself just jumping in the car and driving without even showing your face. And then, of course, you have to put, the cell phone on a safe place in the car, maybe just showing the road while you're driving, and then your clear voice behind. But again, real things and real elements. Tactics number 8, true life, real, of your products and your services. So if there are customers, if you're just making massages, like you're a chiropractic, like you are, selling vegetables, like you are a restaurant, whatever, show real life examples of people that are, getting their life changed thanks to you. And then, of course, this is tactics number 9, never ever again. And then you show the problem. You talk about the problem. Never ever again backbone pains. Never ever again. Never ever broke again. Never ever going to a restaurant, choosing the cheapest thing on the menu because you're close to be broke. Never ever paycheck to paycheck, never ever 9 to 5, never ever whatever. So clearly state where they are running away from. And again, tactics number 10 is a sequence out of the never ever problem, and is from now on, and then you show the result. So never ever again 9 to 5. From now on, the freedom of you waking up in the morning and just thinking on how to spend the money to make your life become the best life you could ever draw. Make of your life a masterpiece. Of course, always ask to share and also send people back to other contents that you created. So let's say that you created the content and then the person is there and wants more from you. Remember that you have to provide value. So if you, the most entrepreneurial people or proactive people, they would just get into the social media. They are, well, of course, if you send an email, they have no chance. Maybe they go to your website, but they will do some research, understand more about you. They will search the name of the company, the name of your service. They will search, your pages in the social medias, and maybe that's it. But there are options where they could even do something different. So you can tell them, go check this content, and then you post a link of your content. Maybe if it's an Instagram story, you can just link the reel or the story, or maybe you can just link them to your page, to your YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube, then you can link any other video that you already created. That's so powerful. So let them stay within your ecosystem of your creations. Tactics number 12. If you tell the characteristics of your product, that's weak. If you create the advantages, that's much stronger. Like, I don't know, we are following people, we are training people and we are giving them coaching calls and we keep them in Zoom calls to have this community strong. Well, these are characteristics. What the advantage is, hey, dude, I know that when you go through a training, then most of the cases you're left alone and you will never be alone any longer. Never again, right? Because we are there with you. What does it mean? It means that you will be succeeding no matter what. This is the advantage of having Zoom calls on a regular basis. I ask you the effort to be and pop up on the Zoom calls, but then I will kick your ass to make you win. And then, of course, the results. Why? Because to me, delivering whatever, becoming a great trader, yourself being healthy and being able to jump and to go back to when you were a kid in perfect fit, rather than, living a life full of energy, meeting the love of your life, whatever. That's so important. And that's the result. That's the better version of themselves in the future. Because yes, dude, I want you to have your best future. The best future. That's it. Unfair advantage number 4, levels of depth. The first one is the rational mind. Whatever you tell to the rational mind of people, you're just explaining characteristics. You're just explaining the what of the things. You're telling them numbers. You're telling them things. There are people that value that a lot. Like typically, and I'm exaggerating here, I'm putting labels on people, but typically people that are more keen to have engineering kind of jobs or even techies, they prefer to have all the details. Why? Because the details in their mind are creating emotions. So the more they know, the more they see things, numbers that are strongly performing, then the more they get warmed up. Then it's talking to a rational mind that is already creating synapses in their mind to create pleasure. But in most of the cases, talking about the rationals, about the numbers, the mechanics of something doesn't mean a lot. Knowing that your car has 5 doors, you don't give a lot, right, to it. Then the second level is the emotions. That's the level that is deeper. So if you tell about a car and you talk about, thinking of your kids being able to grow healthy, because you can bring them to school, you can bring them, to learn karate, you can bring them, I don't know, to become, the dancers, always safe, with enough room and no frustration for you. That's already emotions, right? Because you're touching something that is important in the life of people. And then finally, the identity. You want to be the best mother. You want to be the best father. And of course, the other way around, you don't want to feel that you did not anything in your power, everything that was in your power, to be the best version of a father that you could be, or the best version of a mother that you could be. That's why thinking of it also when you purchase a car, that's so important. Giving you a stupid example, and I'm pushing that much, I know. But time ago, I had a person that now is a close friend that was selling driving licenses, or at least that's was what he was saying. But actually, this guy was doing much more. He was training people to drive on the cars. Basically, he was giving guns to kids and was teaching kids how to use those guns. Because if you have a car can be even more disastrous than any other weapon in your hands. So the guys was really making our streets more secure, more safe, thanks to what he was doing. And then, of course, he was, when parents were getting to his shop to buy the training to get the driving license, they were thinking that we're kind of buying a commodity. Yeah, my kid has to go through it and then has to get the driving license the quickest possible. And then we worked together and they started to talk about, instead of the characteristics like, hey, in this amount of money you get, all the taxes paid, and then you will get 10 lessons, and then you will get, I don't know how many driving hours together with me and whatever. These were characteristics. So it was just jumping to the first level. And then I told him, this is peace of mind for you because you know that your kid is in great hands. Your daughter, your son, they will get the best service in town. But it's not just about us. It's just about that we are having our kids, there, and they know that you want to have your peace of mind. But then the other level of identity was, dear mother, dear father of your son, of your daughter, you're coming to me, right? And they are asking me to give you the best service ever for the lower amount of money, and to make your son or daughter to get the driving license the quickest possible. But actually, this is not the problem. The problem is another one. You want to be sure that your kid and your daughter, they are safe. And you want to be sure that they will be making our streets even safer than before. And you want them to be the example for their friends. So not only you can trust that they will never drink when they drive, that they will always be, the most watch out kind of people on the streets, taking care of everything. They will always, drive according to the limits. They will always respect all the signages, and they will always be safe. Not only that, but you want really to be sure that you did everything in your power to have your kid to manage possible weapon like a car as the opportunity of their life to be the best drivers ever. Well, if you do that and you're convincing enough and you believe in what you're doing, this is a completely different story, because the parents that will find somebody that is really taking care of them and is not selling a commodity, that's a completely different story. So when you get into the characteristics, somehow you're selling a commodity. Even if you're selling a Tesla nowadays, you're selling a commodity if you just go into how many hours a Tesla can run on a charge. Well, that's not enough. You have to go into the identity. And some brands that are so strong, like Apple, so you remember Apple was about critical thinking. So it was all about the rebels at the time, think different. And Tesla, again, it was kind of think different. It was kind of pioneers, people that are going on Mars. Not by chance, the strongest payoffs are from Elon Musk, because he's a kind of pathfinders of everything he does. So he's creating a sense of identity. And nowadays, probably Teslas are not even the best cars ever on the market, but still they are sharing a matter of identity. If you buy a Tesla and you're not buying a Golf GTE, whatever electric car, you're doing that because the Golf is just giving you a commoditized kind of electric car. Yeah, maybe you believe in the Volkswagen brand, but that's another story. But with the Tesla, you're purchasing a piece of identity. You are purchasing something that is reinforcing your identity. Goosebumps. You need to make people really feel super emotion by what you do. And then what about your strategy? Well, this is more about the tone of voice. You can sound like Matt, you can sound like the serious professor, you can sound like, the calming friend. Uh, Whatever is your strategy, feel free to, to adapt to whatever fits you best. But that's the story. You need to make people feel very comfortable. Now it's all about you. You know, right? Imagine your first 100 messages with the tactics that we've just seen. This video will be on YouTube, so you can watch it any now and then. But these are, so valuable contents for free that you can get and apply really from now. So rethink all your way of talking to others through your brand, through whatever you do in this way. If you do already this, then for sure you're super successful. If you are not doing some of these, maybe you're already successful, and most probably you are. So think whatever you can do, applying these super tactics, super unfair advantages compared to most of competitors that are not even doing it. So if you think of the most productive and successful brands, all the things that I just told you, they are doing it scientifically. Most of the others, they are not. So just have a look at that. Apply just a 10% of what you've just seen it. Just improve. Remember, 1 millimeter a time, 1 inch per time, and you will become, a super version of yourself, being so successful in this market. Just because there are zillions, well, actually 7+ billions of people, potential customers. Of course, not all of them, but most of them, they potentially could be your customers. So there is so much to make you become wealthy, just as a reward of the great value that you bring to this world. Thank you so much for listening, and please stay tuned to this channel because more will come. And I just hope I gave you enough value for you for the time that you gave to me as a gift. For myself and from Jimmy that is still making money, have a good rest of your day. Best of luck. Ciao.